one and all, welcome to Seeing Through Glass. It's a bit of a grey, grotty and lazy day here in Perth today. I'm about to head out to get some lunch with some friends, and I was actually going to take the day off and not really film anything today, but we're going to take a couple of interesting cars to lunch. Lamborghini Urus and Aston Martin DBX. Super SUV rivals. Thought that could be quite interesting. So I'm going to drive one there, one on the way back, and talk you through my experience. Maybe show you lunch as well. God, I'm starving.
This is not a DBX or a Urus.
No, but how can you complain, right?
Perfect day for a Senna, mate. Oh my God. Yeah, I can tell you like this car. Well, with that surprise Senna ride, I'm not sure I can call this a lazy day in Perth anymore. And actually, with these two cars, I can't really call it a lazy day because, well, I expect they're going to be quite exhilarating. I'm not actually a fan of super SUVs. In my mind, if you're going to have a big car that you can have with your family and things like that, you're going to want luxury and tech and creature comforts, not things that make it perform well around the Nürburgring. But, of all the super SUVs, these are supposedly the two best handling or best driver focused cars. And whilst there are newer and slightly better iterations of both, I thought it'd just be interesting to compare these kind of base cars and see what it's all about. I'm in the Urus first because, well, it's the one I prefer. And we're going to head out of town towards a beautiful vineyard apparently, and there'll be some twisty roads where we can enjoy this car maybe as it's meant to be enjoyed, but we've also got some town and city driving to negotiate where maybe some of the car's flaws are going to be shown up. Maybe not least this car, but the DBX potentially. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, I'm hungry, so let's crack on. A few things I'd definitely forgotten about this car is how good it is at just the everyday stuff. I know I'm being a hooligan now, but if I switch the 3,000 different driver modes, just cruise around. In my memory, this car was more extreme than it actually is, but yeah, it really does cover pretty much every usage that you could want. It does dial itself down. I think if you are a Lamborghini owner, you're going to always want it in sport or Corsa, making lots of noise and being shouty, but yeah, they really got this thing so right, and you can see that in the amount that they sold and the relative used prices. I think in the UK, these are still trading over list with up to 10,000 miles on the clock. The demand is ridiculous. So yeah, bravo Lambo for seeing the opportunity. You know, here we are now arriving at this beautiful vineyard. I'm hoping after lunch have more of an opportunity to throw this thing around. Only thing which I would note is that some of this interior is looking a little bit older than I remembered. This car obviously been around a while now, and Lambo do have a tendency to build slightly dated looking setups. So yeah, just some of these kind of gadgets. Lots of touchscreens though. It's got every bit of kit that you could want, except maybe massage seats, but do you want those in the Urus? Probably not. Probably does have massage seats, I just don't know how to activate them. Oh yeah, there we go. I found the button. It's got massage seats. I mean, it is literally a one-stop shop, this car. I'm in full-on Corsa mode now, and this is an out-and-out Lamborghini. I'm manual gear shifting, it's hitting the red line and not shifting for me. The car feels dynamic, still massive, still huge. I'm throwing a lot of weight around still, but super engaging. And actually, I remembered that was my kind of summary last time I drove a Urus. As capable as this thing is and the sort of breadth of capabilities it has, it does employ you to drive like a lunatic all the time. Because you're in a Lambo and it makes these amazing noises and it pops and crackles and it's got all this performance. You just drive everywhere doing this. You don't often cruise in a Urus, which is kind of fun, but potentially a bit exhausting if it is your daily. Oh my God. How on earth did that happen? Is that car rolled from somewhere? Take it easy out on the road, people. It's clearly a bit hectic out here. Where are we? This is awesome. It's like some creek. It's really pretty. Oh, we're going off-road. We're going into red dirt. I've basically wanted to do this ever since I came to Australia. Super cool. Maybe Josh thought we could take these cars off-road, or at least onto some dirt roads. Get them sliding around a bit. I'm in actually course mode, maybe that's a bit over the top. Maybe I should come into one of the more off-roady sport modes, because this car has it. But yeah, this is going to be epic for photos. Crocodile Dundee over here. What are you up to, mate? Caught a big one.
What am I doing?
What are you saying?
Well, I'm not seeing anything. This is called Bell's Rapids.
Okay. It's not very rapid today.
It's not very rapid right now. I was once dragged into, or coerced into, a 4-kilometre hike here after a very late night on a Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, it's actually quite a tranquil place, beautiful place.
It's super nice.
Yeah. So I thought for the thumbnail we.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and a little bit of red dirt, which I hadn't seen yet. So
exactly. Well,
I
wouldn't have caught it. I would have caught
This
it
is sandy, but it was red dirt up in the car park.
more cashmere than red.
But you just came down here for a tranquil moment? Or you thought we could get the cars down
not
here?
at all. I don't like tranquil moments. I thought I would bring the cars down here for a thumbnail.
Right, first up to take on the treacherous off-road course, which is not a course at all, is the DBX. And we've got a few big boulders to be careful of here. So this is going to be about what's called visibility, manoeuvrability, and capabilities on sand. I should really be driving, but I was a bit too nervous to drive. So yeah, I would go that way.
Just straighten up your wheels. No. Straighten up the wheels. Put it into off-road mode as well.
Off-road mode?
Yeah.
It's actually quite a good test.
It is quite good.
But I'm nervous he's going to curb that rear wheel. No, I said it's manoeuvrability, visibility, and soft sand testability, capabilities. Yeah. Not that much angle, I don't think. Straight. Ooh. And then go all the way down and then hard right. Down. How's he doing at the back?
Yeah, he's good.
He's good now? Yeah.
You gotta spin it around.
Traction off.
You gotta spin it around so it's facing
You can do a donut, that would be good. Ooh. This is a fantastically scientific test.
Well,
testing traction now as well.
This is the most off-road.
Remember, you got to get the you got to get the Urus next to it as well. So don't.
Can't wait.
Ooh. Easy, Tiger.
Where looks visually best?
I think that's pretty good. I think if he stops there and it's hard, yeah. I actually need to come across a bit. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. Yeah, that's cool. You doing the Urus?
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Keep coming. Okay. Is that rear wheel going to be alright, do you think? Your rear wheel's going to come over that big rock.
Oh, right.
You gotta say, you're already losing out on the visibility right now.
That's very true.
DBX saw that coming from
At the fireplace.
Oh,
Or could do that, yeah.
he's an energetic guy, isn't he?
He's young.
Yeah. Yeah, so you've come too far over this way, and that rear wheel's looking pretty...
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
You kind of got it over there a bit and then swing it around. But he's moving the... I think, yeah, reverse back up that way, I guess. Yeah, you're good. So yeah, get over there. Yeah. Okay, now come. Yeah, you're through. Keep coming. Okay. No, that one.
I was saying 2 seconds ago, how many Urus or even DBX owners actually head out to twisty country roads and push their cars? Well, how many do we think are going to drive to a beach by a creek? We don't know, but we've just proved. I think we've actually proved visibility and manoeuvrability in the DBX was better than the Urus, because Lockie got on much better than you did. So I'm giving that up. We're hearing some banter that it was the driver, but I'm going to give that a point to the DBX there. Did a little bit of panic set in there?
Towards as I was sliding towards the water.
Get out of it, Josh! Get out of it!
Did look cool though.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, time to step into the DBX. It's funny, these modern Astons have such a unique smell. So many supercar manufacturers have a specific smell. Sometimes it's to do with the glues or the materials. McLaren, for example, very specific smell. Ferrari, very famous for their smell. But yeah, these new Astons, I think it is the leather. Anyway, how do I deactivate the handbrake? There, flash the guys to say I'm ready. Don't know how to do the windscreen wipers. How do I do the windscreen wipers? I do not know. There we go, like that. Yes, perfect, because the rain has returned. Trying to give these guys a thumbs up. They don't really know what's going on. Okay, we're off. We're up and running. Now, immediately. Oh, what's he saying? Ready to go? Do that again?
No, I'm actually trying.
What are you gonna do? Josh is in a playful mood. Don't know what he's up to, but I feel like he's going to try something. It looked cool.
Okay.
The big power slide when you left the river that I didn't get on camera looked cooler. Thanks. Good luck, mate. Have a nice drive. That's what I was saying to you. That car makes you behave like a hooligan. Oh, what's he up to now? Yes.
Anything along here or?
I'm trying to do a piece of camera, but you know.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But it really does make you kind of act like a mad person. That car implores you to do so, which means you would probably average about 7 mpg everywhere and maybe get arrested real quick. It's cool to see it. It looks amazing. This immediately feels a lot smaller. Firstly, I feel like I'm sitting higher. We did notice earlier that the roof line of the DBX is high, but I feel like I'm sitting way higher. But the car just sort of shrinks around me a little bit more. Doesn't feel that much more nimble, but that's because I'm probably not in the sporty mode. Weirdly, I knew how to get around that Urus instinctively so much quicker, but here I'm like, where are all the sport settings? Mode, there we go. Which is weirdly dissimilar to, for example, other Aston products, DBS, DB11, it's all on the steering wheel, but in here, no. So okay, right, we're now in a more dynamic mode, so this car should, yeah, feel a bit more
Urus-y like. I do feel like I'm on stilts though. That Urus really hunkers down and feels low. But okay, it is a bit better. It's a bit more engaging now that I'm into Sport Plus. But naturally this car just feels like it leans more towards luxury, class, elegance, all those kind of Aston things. Well, that is real performance focused. Soundtrack as well, I think, let's face it, not quite as good. The gearbox is slower. All these little things I'm picking up on. And the reason that I'm so harsh and attacking this car so much is Aston owners and Aston themselves will be quick to tell you that this car's about performance. This is about a fantastic handling SUV. And whilst it might let itself down in some other areas in comparison to its rivals, who cares, because it's the best one to drive. But I've got to be honest, just immediately I'm not so sure that's the case. That Urus, I think, was better. So I'll try and chuck it into this corner, hope my stuff doesn't go everywhere. Whoa, okay, that's exhilarating. That was fun, that was good, that was good. Oh, it's one of those really tough things for me, because I love Aston as a brand. I have forever. But the minute I first experienced this car, I just felt let down. Because all of this, the infotainment, the buttons, the tech, these seats, the layout, so much of it, I think, is not up to the par of a Urus, even a Bentayga, the Cayenne Turbo GT, all this car's rivals. Because it's expensive, this thing. And therefore it has to be on a par, not just when it comes down to driving dynamics. Okay, if we really push these two cars on a road, could they keep up with each other? Potentially. I think you'd have more fun behind the wheel of the Urus. But like I keep saying, how often do DBX owners drive this car like this? And then the rest of the time you've got to put up with, as I say, things that don't quite make sense. You're obviously endlessly looking for buttons to push. This is not a touch screen infotainment system, which feels kind of out of date. It's just not as... it's not as good. I don't like the way it looks. I'm being super critical. I guess there are positives. It's something different. There are less of these on the road. It's a bit more unique. But yeah, spending time with these two today, it's reaffirmed my thought that, unfortunately, Aston just missed the mark a bit with this DBX. Apparently the 707 is even better to drive, and maybe that's closer to a Urus, but don't forget there's now the Urus Performante, so maybe those two are rivals. And as I say, it's not the driving performance of this car that I think lets it down. It's the rest of the car, which at this price point, when you're in the super SUV market, like I was discussing with the Urus, you've got to do everything fantastically. You've got to tick off every box. And this just ticks off fun to drive. Anyway, what a mad day it's been, a completely unexpected day. The weather, well, it's held off a bit. We had a little bit of rain, but not too much, so I reckon crack on, let's see. I mean, this was initial impressions. Maybe with time on this journey, I'll enjoy this car more. You know what, maybe if I take it out of the sport mode and go back to cruising, maybe this car will come into itself a bit more. Scientific test number 2. Okay, I was in the wrong gear. Almost back in the city now, and yeah, even in its softer settings, unfortunately this car just hasn't won me over. Maybe it's a personal thing, maybe I just don't like this car, but as I mentioned, there are specific reasons as to why I don't think it's quite as good as the others, and definitely not as good as that Urus. But it's been an absolutely amazing day. I mean, every day here in Perth has been awesome, so huge thanks to the Lee Collection and to Josh. As ever, if you want to see what they're getting up to, you can follow them on Instagram, check out their YouTube, links are in the description below. I think for now, I'm going to sign off. Adios.